Hey guys, it's Andy. Welcome back to Almost Organized. This channel is very aptly named. I really try my hardest to set all these plans and systems in place to make my life so much simpler, easier. I'm doing minimalism and budgeting and organizing and all the things so that my life can run as smoothly as possible. But that's just not real life. We're just a hot mess. It's just a hot mess. I recorded this entire video and it didn't record, so we're gonna try again. If you can hear people, my kids are here, my husband's watching TV with some bass on, and we live in military housing. It's townhouses or row homes, whatever you would call it. So there's a lot of people in a very small area. Children are playing outside. It's a whole thing. So we're gonna try to do this. Please bear with me. If you are here, if you have come back, if you are new, thank you. Thank you for being here. If you're interested, hit the subscribe button, comment, like, yell at me, ask me questions, anything you would like. Yeah, let's just get started. I don't even know anymore. Like I said, hot mess. Alright, so I'm going to rearrange a little bit so that I can see what I am doing. This is May 2022 budget. One of the major things that you will notice is, since we are military, I am active duty US Navy. You will not see any housing costs here. I get a housing allowance or housing stipend every month. However, it is immediately taken from my check before I ever see it to pay for the military housing that we receive. And it also covers our utilities outside of cable internet. You will also not see healthcare costs because that is also covered by the military. Since I am active duty, my healthcare is covered at 100%, and then my family, I have the option of having them covered at 100% or letting them see doctors out in town, civilian doctors, and we choose to do that for my husband and my children. I pay a very nominal fee for that. I think it's $20 or $30 that comes out of my check every month, and then on the backside, all of their well visits are paid at 100%, but if they get sick, if they go to the hospital, if they get a prescription, we pay, I think it's 20%. As far as like a co-insurance or deductible type of situation. And our caps are much lower than what they are for other people. I know some people have like a $10,000 deductible. Our family cap, I think for something catastrophic, is only a few thousand, but for each family member for like basic like sick care and prescriptions, it's only like $150 a person for the entire year. And at a time, we're only paying for prescriptions maybe $1 to $10, and then for like sick call or something, maybe $20. All that to say, you won't see any healthcare costs. It's part of my benefits of being a service member, which is actually the reason why I'm a service member. I know some people have very strong feelings one way or the other about the military. I do it strictly for financial benefit and stability for my family. That is all. No political gain, no honor and sacrifice. I do it because it's good for my family. Alright, so let's begin. As a military member, I get paid essentially on the 1st and 15th of every month. We get paid a couple days before that usually. My husband gets paid every other Friday, so sometimes our paychecks coincide, other times they're completely separate, and then our first of the month bills we pay with essentially the last checks from the month before. And then our 15th, like mid-month payments, we make from the next set of checks. Hopefully it'll make more sense once you see it on paper. All right, here we go. So our first paychecks are coming, this is the beginning of May, so they're going to come from the end of April so that the funds are in the account before the budgeting begins. All right, so first is from April 22nd. That is my husband's check. And we will budget approximately $1,800. The last few months, it has been consistently higher than that. However, I don't feel comfortable yet raising that number for another few months. His job entails a lot of overtime and such, so I just want to give it a little more time before I raise it, but it has been consistently higher than that, so we will see. My paycheck is going to come through on the 29th at $1,500. All right, so total $1,800 plus $1,500, we're budgeting approximately $3,300. So the first thing that's going to come out is an auto withdrawal for our streaming services, approximately $50. You will see, I know a lot of people like to budget down to the penny. I know a lot of people will budget to the very next dollar. So if it's $50.39, they'll budget $51. I'm not that detailed. I like nice round numbers, so everything you will see on my budget is a 5 or a 0. And since all of the bills are done that way, with minusing a couple dollars here, adding a couple dollars here, it all comes out in the wash. Everything ends up being fine. We also have approximately a $100 buffer in our checking account. So those onesie twosies, even if we end up on the lower end, there's a buffer there to handle all of that. If we get into an extreme situation, we also have a fully funded emergency fund that we could always pull from if needed. So next is our sinking funds. Those are here. They are already stuffed for the month. That wallet is $825 per month. Next is what we call food and fuel, and that is $1,000 a month. So instead of doing a cash envelope for groceries, eating out, fuel, and such, we opened up a secondary checking account that we both have debit cards to, and we use that as our, essentially like our miscellaneous cash envelope. So if we want to grab some McDonald's, if we want to order a pizza, when we order groceries, we stop and get gas, it all comes out of that particular account that we stock with $1,000 every month. The next one is Green Sky. This is a loan and the minimum payment is $125. We're working on some other debts right now, so that's all we're putting towards that one. Next is Home Site. This is our renter's insurance. The military housing does not cover that, so that's $15 a month. And I think it's like $15,000 in renter's coverage if something happens. The next one is Progressive. This is our car insurance. We have 2 vehicles and we pay $135 a month. The next one is our phone bill. T-Mobile is $125. That includes 5 devices. My husband and I each have an iPhone. My son has, I don't even know, something that's not an iPhone. He has Wi-Fi on it just to play games and watch YouTube videos. It was whatever the cheapest one was at the time. And he's 9, if anyone has any questions about that. And then the last 2 are, my husband and I each have an Apple Watch. So those are the 5 devices that are covered under that $125. That is also a military plan that we are on with T-Mobile. Next is our pet insurance. This is approximately $50 a month. We have a puppy, a dachshund. That's for him. Next is Xfinity. This is a large number. Please, just, I know. $250 for cable and internet. I promise you, as soon as we are out of this contract, that will go down or go away completely. Right now, we are in a contract, and I am unwilling to break contract. But that number is painful. $250. Okay. CarMax. One of our vehicles we are still paying on. That is $450 a month. All right, so that is our basic bills. Now we get into where our credit cards begin. And so what I like to do is I just like to group my bills together. So not all of these are due at the beginning of the month. Some of them are due throughout the month, but these, to me, these are my bills, and so I like to pay them all at one time. So you'll see as we go through the dates, my husband will have an extra paycheck in this budget just because it doesn't come late enough in the month to be the beginning of the next month. And then his following check would be on June 3rd. To me, that's close enough to the beginning of the month to be considered the first, because not all of these are due right at the beginning of the month. But I just like to group them all together because these are the things that, not that these are our bare bones essentials, but these are the ones that have to be paid, and then everything else is just whatever debt we're on at the time. So that's just how I group our bills. So if these dates fall after the 1st or after the 15th for this group down here, it doesn't really change anything because the dates are well within their time frames. All that to say, we're starting on credit cards. All right, so this one will be labeled as MilStar. This is my military star card. It is a credit card that is used for base services, essentially. $50. I believe the balance on here is $38. Essentially, that's one tank of gas for the smaller of our vehicles. We just use it to keep it revolving. Next is NFCU1. That's just how we have named this card so that we know what we're talking about. $100. I believe the balance on this one is $91, which is a full tank of gas in our larger vehicle. Same thing. We're paying them off in full because we're only using them to keep them in circulation. Our Discover card, $125, which is actually the minimum payment for this one for the month, but then you'll see we'll add to it later. And this should give us a zero budget, so let's verify. So we added the $1,800 plus $1,500, we got $33. Now we're going to start subtracting. Minus $50, minus $825, minus $1,000, minus $125, minus $15, minus $135, minus $125, minus $50, minus $250, minus $450, minus $50, minus $100, minus $125 equals. Perfect. So that is the beginning of the month. Now we're going to skip down to the next set of paychecks. So on the 6th, my husband is due to get paid $1,800, and then I should get a check on the 13th for about $1,500. Capital One card, which doesn't have anything on it. Chase, 0. PayPal is a credit card, $250, which should pay that one off in full. NFCU2, $500, and NFCU3, $500. These are our two largest credit cards, and they're maxed out. So I'm putting them as $500. We are going to keep paying them at $500. It's rough. All right, and then back to our Snowball payment, the Discover. And we should be able to put $2,050, and that should zero us out. So let's verify. $1,500 plus $1,800 equals $3,300, just like the beginning of the month. $3,300 minus $250 minus $500 minus $500 equals $2,050, which is what we write here. Minus $2,050 equals 0. Perfect. So now we've got a big debt snowball payment, and all of our bills are paid. With that said, skip a line, and then on the 20th, my husband has his next paycheck coming in at $1,800. Well, for me, I mean, May has 31 days. That's a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, before this paycheck would be due to pay the bills from the 1st. So we're using this as an extra paycheck month, and that's what that is. So we're just going to list it as Discover. I don't remember if I said it this time or in the video that did not record itself. I believe that the Discover bill is between $8,000 and $10,000, so I knew we wouldn't hit it in this budget, so I didn't get the exact number, but that's why I'm just throwing everything at Discover, because it's more than what this budget is. All right, so we're going to be able to throw this whole thing over. So $1,800, and again, that's an estimate because it should be quite a bit higher than that. 18 minus 18, so that zeroes it out. And then the last thing are items coming from our sinking funds. These don't affect this budget at all. The money, the cash is already in these, so we'll just pull the cash out of here to pay for them, so they don't affect these numbers in any way. But I like to have it written down, 1, so that I can see kind of where our money's going, 2, so that, I said almost organized, I didn't say I'm organized, I'm trying. I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget to get my niece's birthday present, okay? That's the truth about it. So, sinking funds. First is Peyton's birthday. Each of our immediate family members gets an equivalent of $50 for their birthday from our birthday wallet. We consider immediate family members to be our sisters and brothers, our nieces and nephews, and our parents. And the children get gifts. Basically, the family all shares all of our like Amazon wish lists with each other. And so all the children get toys, and our budget for everyone is $50. Our personal family, me and my husband, that's our budget for family. Most people in the family have around the same budget, but that's optional. It's whatever that particular family set agrees on, but we have done 50. So we'll go on to Amazon. We'll buy her approximately $50 worth of things from her Amazon wish list and get them sent to her. They live out of state from where we are currently. The next is Mother's Day is this month. We have a holiday envelope in here, and we have allotted $100 for Mother's Day. That includes getting something, a small thing for our mothers, my mother and my mother-in-law. Sorry if you can hear that helicopter. Military. Yeah, I don't know how loud that is for you all, so I apologize if that's very loud. And then my husband will get me, usually, and when I say flowers, I don't mean like 1-800-Flowers or any of those types of places. I mean like the $5 bouquet from the grocery store. Like that's where we live. So my husband might give me some flowers. He and the kids will either buy me breakfast or make me breakfast, and then he'll usually get me some little token. Obviously the kids will like draw me cards and pictures or paint me something. So $100 is more than enough for both of our moms and for me. And then the last one is registration. I do not... See, I cannot write and talk at the same time. Hold on. Registration. It's bad, right? Registration, $35. So I don't know how other states within the U.S. work or other countries, but I'm military, so I don't change my residency every time we change states. So I'm going on the residency that I have provided the military, which is not the state that I currently live in. And that one, you have to register your vehicle every year. So we have on our license plates, they put like a little sticker saying whether you're in date or out of date, whether you've paid your money to drive it for this year, what have you. So when I pulled up the website, it said that the bill for this year for that particular vehicle is $35. So that's what that is. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, if any of this doesn't make sense, if you have questions, comments, I know there's some numbers on here that are probably giving people heart attacks. Please leave me a comment. Any help is greatly appreciated. I can answer any questions, try to answer any questions. It's my real life. I'm not gonna try to make this look pretty in any way because it's not. I am a spender. This is not good. I'm trying to get better. Other than that, I think we're gonna call it a night. Thanks so much for coming by. Please come back. Love to have you. Hit the subscribe button. Bye, guys.